Hello everyone, it's Deb again. So I'm back out here in my messy garage and I wanted to make a video explaining how I am able to afford organic food on a budget. And I have a few different ways that I go about doing this, and this is one of the ways right here. These are foods from Kroger. Kroger has come a long way in the past few years in providing organic foods, and the brand is Simple Truth Organic, and this is all Kroger. And Kroger is, I think, all across the country under different names. You know, it may not be called Kroger, but you can find this Simple Truth Organic food in the store, which means it's a Kroger store, even if it might be called Albertson or something like that. And so I just wanted to show you, they've actually got quite a bit. I mean, you know, you can't find everything in organic, but it's getting to the point where you almost can nowadays, because like I said, the demand has just really grown for this type of food, and so they're really doing a good job. So you can get like cans. This is a 4-pack cans of chicken, spaghetti sauce, Alfredo. That's like you know, Velveeta mac and cheese, kind of. It's got the ready-made cheese pouch. They've got pretzels. This is the cereal I eat. They've got other types of cereal. They've got instant oatmeal. They have peanut butter. They've got applesauce. They have also those little packages of fruit cups and stuff, like pears and peaches and stuff like that. This is the only soup they have right now. Cream of mushroom, cream of chicken. They used to have a chicken noodle condensed soup that was actually really good, and then they just stopped offering it. I don't know why. They've got mushrooms, and then they've got canned vegetables. These are the pickles I eat. They have these are bread and butter, but they also have dill pickles. These are jalapenos. You can find almost everything in organic nowadays. And this right here is canned beans. I normally cook beans from dry all the time, but I do also keep cans of some other beans just because we don't use them very much. And also I just like to have a variety of things stocked up, like if I don't have time to make dried beans. And so this is, you know, this is just a decent sampling. They're not that much more expensive. The beans, like this, might be $1, if that. And so that's really not that much more than regular conventional foods. And I feel like, you know, it's worth it for my health and for my family's health to avoid the pesticides and all that kind of stuff that come with conventional produce and foods. So that's why I choose to just spend just a little bit more for the stuff that I trust. And so this is just one way. Oh, they do have I get my sour cream from there. It's organic. They have cheese. They have bread. I think they might even have ice cream, to be honest. It's really quite impressive. So that's one way. And then the other way, I've been for years buying in bulk. And that's another really good way. You can't really buy in bulk at Kroger too much, not like this. And so this stuff here is what I get from a place called Azure Standard, and they're based out of Dufur, Oregon. I'm not sure if I was saying that right. Dufur in Oregon. And they are a really super good company. They're, you know, they're not small anymore. They've grown quite a bit over the years, but they're a family-owned business, and they care so much about their customers and the environment and everything. And I'm just in love with them, and I've been shopping with them for years. So what I have here is they sell anything in bulk from like 2 pounds. Like this is rice, and that's a 2-pound bag. And then they go up to 5-pound bags, and they always use, they've pretty much gone to the paper bags, but sometimes you'll get it in plastic or in like a feed sack. And so they go up to 5 pound, and then after that it jumps to 25 pound sizes. So this is 25 pounds of pinto beans and 25 pounds of black beans, because when I make my refried beans I use equal parts of pinto beans and black beans. And so I just buy those, and they last a really super long time. Obviously, a 2 pound bag is going to cost more per pound than the 25 pound bag. So the more you buy, the less it will be per pound. You know, that just makes sense. That's the way it is usually in the stores too. So this is what I bought to bring with me on the road. So I just bought the littlest one that I could find, which is 2 pounds. That's the sugar I'm going to bring with me. But I normally, especially when I was baking a lot and I was making wine, I was buying 25 pounds of the evaporated cane sugar. And so I just keep these, sorry I'm shaking a little bit, I probably ought to eat, to keep them, to make sure that no pests get in them at all. I keep them in 5-gallon buckets here. And these are the gamma lids, which are really nice, and it makes it really super convenient to get in and out of the bucket. And so it's a 2-piece. That's the bucket. And then this is the lid, and you snap this part on, and it goes around the rim. And then it's got threads on it. And it keeps everything dry. It keeps all the critters out. Spiders can't get in there. Nothing can get in there. And this is what I've used for years to store these big bags of grain and beans and sugar. And I don't keep the flour in there because normally I keep flour in the refrigerator or the freezer. But they have, this is wild rice. They've got every kind of rice you could ever think of. They have oats of all kinds, every kind of grain pretty much you can think of. And all of them are available pretty much in these 25 pound sizes. So especially if you have a big family, or if you just want to stock up and don't want to have to buy food all the time, you know, it's a good idea to buy in bulk like this. And then besides the bulk packaging, they just have, you know, regular food in cases, and you don't have to buy cases of it. You can buy small quantities. You can buy anything from 1 to 3, sometimes 6, and then the case size, which is usually like 12. And so over here, this is the Lakewood lemon juice. It's pure, not from concentrate, and that's what I make my organic lemonade concentrate with. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description for that video. And I just make my own lemonade with this. And this time, this is the last order that I'm making before I hit the road. So this is pretty much, all of this is going to stay here with my son and my ex. And you know, this was actually one of my most expensive trips because I did kind of go overboard. I wanted to make sure that they had enough, you know, before I left and everything. And I'll probably take a couple of those, but then the rest of them will stay here and my son will make it himself. They have oils of all sorts. This is the coconut oil that I use when I'm greasing my skillets and stuff like that, or if I'm using coconut oil for deep frying, which that's what I use whenever I fry anything, is expeller pressed coconut oil. And this is almost gone, but they sell all different types of sizes. I've had this for several years, and it, you know, it lasts forever. It doesn't go bad. So that's that. And then this is these are cases of our favorite hot sauce. That's the hot sauce, and this is the salsa. And so I always buy these by the case because, again, it's much cheaper to buy a case of it. So if it's something that you really like and you know you're going to go through it, you know, fairly quickly within a few months or whatever, that's what I always do, is I just buy the cases of it. Sometimes we don't buy cases of certain things, but they have them offered in other sizes. Like this is a pizza sauce that we don't really use very often, and so I usually just buy one at a time because I can't really find that in the stores. But at this point, it may or may not be a good bargain because you're not buying in bulk right there. You're just buying a single jar, but you can buy just a single jar. And this is actually the one I'm taking with me on the road, and I bought this in 3 this time. I've bought these in the case, so there was 12, but this time I bought 3 of them. So they'll have special pricing for, 3, and then sometimes they'll do 6, but sometimes they won't offer that 6. They'll go straight from offering 3 to you have to buy a case, which is 12. And so, it's always kind of just changing. These are the toaster pastries that my son really likes, and so I buy them by the 3 because he doesn't eat them very quickly. I don't ever buy a case of these at a time. And they offer, like, this is cheddar cheese powder, which you can make your own cheese sauce with that. And so I'm going to take that with me so I can make my own mac and cheese just using powdered cheese. And they have a lot more than food. This is a personal care product. They even have clothing. I bought all my Maggie's organic socks, and I buy their leggings and stuff from them too. So those are Maggie's socks, and these are my extras that I'm keeping. I'm going to keep those in my storage unit for when the other ones wear out. And they really do care about the environment and everything. And so most of the time, if it doesn't come in its own case, like this would be considered one box to them, and that is because it's in its own case. That's one box. That is one box. Okay, this was one box, but it had several different things in it. And so what they do in that case is they just reuse cardboard boxes from the stores all over their community. They go out into the community, and the stores save these boxes for them. And that's why it's all cut up like that, because they literally take the box, shove everything in there, and then if the box is too big, they'll just score it, fold it like that, and then they'll tape it up, the back flaps back there, and then they'll tape it up. And so that is not what's in this box. I mean, they don't even sell this, so they're obviously just recycling and reusing, which I think is really nice. And you can also get spices from Azure Standard, and sometimes I do get my spices from them, but most of the time I buy my bulk spices from a place called Mountain Rose Herbs. And I will show you this box right here. This is what I'm taking with me. I bought all new spices for me because that is the spice bucket for the house. I keep all the extra spices back there, and we'll buy, like, they used to offer an 8-ounce bag, which was ideal, but now they only offer 4-ounce bags and 1 pound. So whatever bulk spices we have, I just keep them in there. Excuse me. And then we refill the spice bottles as they go empty. And this is a really good way to save money on spices, especially organic spices. Again, if you're going to go through the trouble of it and you want to save money, this is the best way I can think of. And so Mountain Rose Herbs is really fresh, good. These are their own blends. They have an Italian seasoning, a Mexican seasoning, which is what I use for my beans and chili and stuff like that. They've got all-purpose seasoning. They've got their own chili powder that they blend, and they've got even the pumpkin pie spice, which is a blend. And so these are the 4-ounce sizes, and so the spice jars that I have, it will hold anywhere from like 1 1 ounce to 1.8 ounces. It really depends on what is in there, because these are all going by weight. And if you can tell the difference between that and that, that's because this is cilantro, and the parsley as well. These are both 4 ounces, but when you look at it compared to that 4 ounces, the white pepper, the bag is a lot smaller for the white pepper because it's a lot more dense. And so the fluffy stuff does take up more room, but they do weigh the same. So hopefully you can see the difference in packaging, but everything in here is 4 ounces. So they've got white pepper, they've got garlic, onion, every spice you could ever want, they've got it at Mountain Rose Herbs. And if you can't find it there, there's something wrong because I have never found anything that I can't find there. Sorry, my voice is cracking. So I've got bay leaves, and they've got peppercorns of all different types, not just the black. And then, so these are all the different single spices, so they're not blended with anything. We've got paprika and dill, parsley, cumin, and then they do sell the retail bottles. So this is a retail bottle of celery seed, and I think this is all they offered besides a real big size, or maybe it was just because I don't use it very much. But for whatever reason, this time I did actually buy a retail bottle, and that's just the celery seed. So they have this, and then from there it goes to 4 ounces, and then it goes to a pound. And unfortunately, I don't know why they stopped selling the 8 ounce size. I think maybe they were not making as much money. I hate to say that, but I can't really think of any other reason why they would stop selling the in-between size. So whatever. But for this order, I got that, and then everything else I bought was the 4 ounce bags. And so this is actually garlic granules from Azure Standard, and I had already bought these a couple months ago for my rig, so that's what I bought for my rig. And I buy this by the pound for the house because we go through a lot of garlic granules. So for garlic and onion granules, I do buy a pound of each when I'm buying it for the house here. And I think that was it in here. Yeah, that was it. And so that's all I have for spices. I think, well, I have a couple more, but they're somewhere else in the house, and I'm just going to refill my jars and kind of steal it from here instead of buying it from new. And in this bucket, I'm not going to open it, but I keep things that are in likeness together in big gallon Ziploc bags, and it stays nice and fresh in there. And I think that's all I wanted to tell you guys. Oh, and if you go to Azure Standard, let's see if it'll focus, you can clearly see these dots, these are all drop points. And so how it works is you become a member, you just sign up, it doesn't cost anything to sign up, and you find a drop near you. They even have them in Alaska, right there, and also Hawaii. See those little blue dots? Those are drop points. Now, it will take longer if you're in Hawaii or Alaska because it has to go onto a barge, and so it might actually take a couple weeks to get to you, whereas here in the mainland, the lower 48, I'm in Indiana, so they're over here in Oregon. When I order, it's just a week later and the truck is here in Indiana. So you can see, look at all the dots. They're pretty much in every state now. They worked for years to expand out here to the East Coast because for quite a while it was just the West Coast pretty much, and then they expanded further and further and further. Now, you know, even down here in Florida, they have drop points. This is only the United States, by the way. It's not Canada or anything like that. The only state I could find that had absolutely no drop points was, I think, Delaware. It might have been Connecticut. No, it's Delaware. See, there's Delaware and there's no drop points there. There's even one in Rhode Island. And, you know, it looks sparse like here in New York and stuff. And that's because there's not enough interest everywhere. Like, there has to be enough people in your community that want to make a drop point. And so you can become a coordinator. So if you're like, a big, huge gap is right here in northern Nevada. So if somebody is living in northern Nevada right now and wants to get with their community, you can become a drop coordinator for your own town, for your own city. And that just means that you're the go-to point from Azure Standard to the people in your community. Like, if people have any kind of questions or anything, and it's just voluntary, whatever. But you can see there's nothing here. And I know there's towns, there it is, there's Elko, all these towns. I know there's people living there. Maybe just not enough to, you know, maybe there's just not enough people who have interest, because you have to go all the way to Reno. But you can order from them and they will not drop ship, they will ship it via a commercial carrier or the post office. So you don't have to be part of a drop. But once you sign up and you tell them where you are, they can help you find the nearest drop point. But again, if you're in Elko, Nevada, you can just have it shipped to you via UPS and they'll come right to your door. Now, it used to be that you could not have anything perishable shipped to you via UPS or anything like that. I think that might have changed recently. I'm not sure. I've never had it shipped that way. I've always just used the drop points, so I'm not sure. But I think, like, according to their lingo recently, I kind of inferred that they will actually use UPS. They probably, like, use dry ice or something. I don't know, but I would not count on it. If you're in the rural areas, I would not count on them being able to bring you perishable foods, but you know, you'd have to join and ask them and look at their shipping policies and everything. Alrighty. Oh, and here's Mountain Rose Herbs. I don't like to shop on their website here on my computer because a couple years ago they changed it. They upgraded, quote unquote, their website, and what they did was they made it really, really friendly for the phone. And what they did in the process was, unfortunately, they made it not so computer friendly. So I'm here on my laptop right now, and this main menu, look how squished it is up here at the top. They've got a lot of stuff, and if you can tell, compared to the size of their page, you can't even hardly see these things. And sometimes it's really hard when I go to click on something and I want to click add to cart. It was not responding. It was just not very responsive. So I think, you know, all in all, they made it smartphone friendly to shop here, but they did not do their computer customers. Sorry about that. My camera just turned off. I think the video is getting too long. I was almost done anyways. So this is the last thing I wanted to show you. When you first go to their website, this thing will pop up. Usually, well, it didn't pop up for me because I've been here now and I've already clicked out, but there'll be a little box that pops up offering like a 15% off your first order, and you just sign up for their newsletter and they'll send you a coupon code, which is pretty cool. And like I said, I've been shopping with them for years. I buy everything from them for my personal care products, all the oils that I use, all the essential oils, the herbs, the roots, everything that I use to make my lotions and my balms. They've got a really good aloe vera here. All of that stuff, for the most part, I buy from them. It's very rare that I can't find something. I can get shea butter, kokum, mango butter, you know, I can get almost everything from them. And I do buy the majority of my essential oils here from Mountain Rose Herbs. really good company, another one based out in Oregon, and I do highly recommend visiting them if you're going to buy in bulk for your herbs and spices. All right, guys, I think that's it. I promise. Sorry this one got so long again. And I will talk to you again another time. Bye.